the shell in which the electron lies. And we know there are this K shell, L shell, M shell, N shell, and so on. So this is given principal quantum number 1, quantum number 2, quantum number 3, quantum number 4, and so on. This is what is represented by N. Okay. Then I told you about the azimuthal quantum number. Azimuthal quantum number. So the azimuthal quantum number is represented by L. Okay. It takes values. It takes values from 0 to n minus 1. So if n is equal to 1, the values that L will take is only 0. If n is equal to 2, the values that L will take is 0 and 1. If n is equal to 3, L will take values 0, 1 and 2. If n is equal to 4, L will take 0, 1, 2, 3. This is more than enough for us to cover all the elements. Then I told you that these represent subshells. Within the shell, there is a subshell. So in the first shell, there is only one subshell. In the second shell, there are two subshells. This 0 is also the name for that subshell is S. 1, the name for that subshell is P. 2, the name for that subshell is D. 3, the name for that subshell is F. Okay, so these are all subshells. So within a shell, there are subshells. So now in the fourth shell, there is the S subshell, there is a P subshell, there is a D subshell, and there is an F subshell. Yeah, so there are these different subshells. Yeah, so if the principal quantum number is N, how many subshells will be there? That is also N. Okay, that's what we saw here. Fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 1, 2, 3. 0 is not 0. 0 is the number assigned to it. Okay, it's a number assigned to it. For what and all, we don't have to bother about it right now. Okay. Then we will make one small point here that the total energy of an electron is found out or is proportional to its N plus L value. Bohr gave us only N value and he said something. Now quantum theory says no, it doesn't depend only upon the N, it also depends upon its L value. So the total energy can be found out only from N plus L rule. So the total energy of an electron is proportional to the N plus L values, not just the N values. Okay, so this is where we were yesterday. I have taught you, just now I have taught you. I never said any first principle, I don't understand. Yeah, so you don't need it. So you should not do things that you don't need. There is nothing, I can't understand the first principle means I don't know. What do you mean by the first principle of quantum theory? I don't understand. I don't see there is any theory. I just said that every electron is associated with 4 quantum numbers. So there is nothing to understand. For everybody, I am going to give 4 numbers. Hey, there is no portion which is deleted. There is nothing for you. There is no portion which is deleted. The government is only fooling each one of you. The government has sent a circular saying that please don't stop teaching the deleted portion. The deleted portion is the only thing that will not come in your exam. In your 11th anyway, you don't have a board exam. So, hey, all these questions I don't answer. Yeah, Vijay, please tell me what you can't understand. I can't understand your question. Yeah, what do you mean? Principal quantum number is the number given to the shell in which an electron is. Please write down. It is the shell in which an electron is. If an electron is in the first shell, it is given number 1. If an electron is in the second shell, it is given number 2. If it is in the third shell, it is given number 3. What is it that you did not understand in this? This week NEET portion is also redox. Azimuttal means I don't know. Azimuttal means I don't know. I think it's the name of a person. Vijay means what? So it doesn't matter. Azimuttal is the name of a person. Yeah. So after the class, I'm expecting you to read your textbook. I'm not expecting you to just come to the class and then listen to the story and then go and then keep saying, look, I don't understand, I don't understand. NEET portions is same redox reactions. Yeah. I won't show all the slides. You are all late. What does that mean? Don't worry. We have not learned it, so you don't need it. Okay. Titration, they have removed from your syllabus. Yeah, this time the test will be difficult. Okay. So this is the second slide, third slide. Azimuttal quantum number. This is the second quantum number. Okay. Second quantum number. Second, unnod வீட் address என்ன கேட்டேன், நீங்க ஊர் சொல்றீங்க, you are telling me your locality. புரியல சொன்னா அதுக்கு என்ன அர்த்தம் எனக்கு புரியல. சோ அது புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஊர் இருக்கு, அதுல ஸ்ட்ரீட் இருக்கு, ஸ்ட்ரீட்டுக்குள்ள வீடு நம்பர் இருக்கும். அது அப்படிதான் இங்கேயும் சொல்றாங்க. ஒரு எலக்ட்ரானுக்கு 4 நம்பர் இருக்கும். ஒரு நம்பர் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்பர் இஸ் எந்த ஷெல்ல இருக்கு, அது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்பர். ரெண்டாவது நம்பர் அந்த ஷெல்லுக்குள்ள சில சப்ஷெல்ஸ் இருக்கு, எந்த சப்ஷெல்ல இருக்கு அது ரெண்டாவது நம்பர். இதுல உங்களுக்கு என்ன புரியல, எனக்கு புரிய மாட்டேங்குது. எனக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சந்தேகம் வருது. ஆர் யூ ரீடிங் அட் ஹோம் ஆர் நாட்? ஐ எம் ஃபீலிங் ஐ ஆம் ஹேவிங் டவுட்ஸ், சிவியர் டவுட்ஸ் ஐ ஆம் ஹேவிங். ரொம்ப புரியல சொல்றது ரொம்ப ஈஸி. பட் நான் என்ன சொல்றேன் அது சொல்றதுக்கு நீங்க கொஞ்சம் புரியதுக்கு ட்ரை பண்ணணும். அப்பதான் உங்களுக்கு புரியும். உங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்சுக்கணும்னா அது என்னோட ப்ராப்ளம் கிடையாது, அது உங்களோட ப்ராப்ளம். நீங்க அந்த மாதிரி எடுத்தாதான் ஏதாவது பண்ண முடியும், இல்லைன்னா பண்ண முடியாது. நான் படிச்சா, நான் எவ்வளவு படிச்சாலும் நான் எல்லாத்துக்கும் நான் நீட் கிளியர் பண்ண முடியாது. நீங்க படிச்சாதான் பண்ண முடியும். ப்ளீஸ் புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க அது. நான் என்ன சொல்றேன்னா, ஒரு எலக்ட்ரானுக்கு 4 நம்பர் இருக்கும். முதலாவது நம்பர் என்ன, அது எந்த ஷெல்ல இருக்கு, அதோட பேரு பிரின்சிபல் குவாண்டம் நம்பர். ரெண்டாவது நம்பர், ஒரு ஷெல்லுக்குள்ள சப்ஷெல்ஸ் இருக்கும், எந்த சப்ஷெல்ல இருக்கு அது ரெண்டாவது நம்பர். ஒரு ஷெல்ல எவ்வளவு சப்ஷெல் இருக்குன்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஷெல்ல ஒரே ஒரு சப்ஷெல் தான் இருக்கு, செகண்ட் ஷெல்ல 2 சப்ஷெல் இருக்கு, தேர்ட் ஷெல்ல 3 சப்ஷெல் இருக்கு, ஃபோர்த் ஷெல்ல 4 சப்ஷெல் இருக்கு. இதுதான் சொல்றேன். அப்புறம் ஒரு செல்க்கு ஒரு நம்பர் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. இது 0 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, இதுக்கு 01 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, 012 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, 1234 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, 0123 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. அவ்வளவுதான். இதுக்கு மேல எனக்கு புரியல, என்ன புரியல எனக்கு தெரியாது. அப்புறம் 0 பேருக்கு ஒரு நம்பர், அது நம்பர், அந்த நம்பரோட பேர் என்ன, அது கூட பேர் எஸ். 1 நம்பர் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, அந்த சப்ஷெலோட பேர் என்ன, பி. 2 இருக்கு, 2 ஓட பேர் என்ன, டி. 3 இருக்கு, 3 ஓட பேர் என்ன, எஃப். தமிழ்நாடு 6 to 6க்கு வரீங்கன்னா தமிழ்நாடு பின்கோடு. 6க்கு அப்புறம் 6 அதுக்கப்புறம் 2 நம்பர் இருக்கும், அந்த 2 நம்பர் டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் பேரு, அந்த டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்குள்ள எந்த டவுன் பேரு, அந்த டவுனுக்குள்ள எந்த லொக்காலிட்டி பேரு, அந்த மாதிரி தான் பின்கோடு கொடுத்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. அதே மாதிரி இங்கேயும் நம்பர் கொடுத்துட்டு இருக்கோம். இப்ப இதுல என்ன புரியல, எனக்கு புரிய மாட்டேங்கிறது. Can we find azimuthal number of an electron? How? I have to tell you the electron is in the second shell. So in the second shell, it is possible in 0 or in 1. If it is in 1, you know it is in the P subshell. If it is 0, it is in the S subshell. So you are not letting me complete. You are asking unnecessary doubts. What if n is equal to 5? I told you it is not required. You don't need n is equal to 5, but you can keep giving SPDF அப்புறம் g கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Okay, SPDF அப்புறம் g கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. இதோ ரெண்டாவது ஸ்லைடு. இது நேத்துக்கு தான் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன் பாய். k ஷெல்ல இருந்தா அதுக்கு 1 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, l ல இருக்கா அது நம்பர் 2 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, m ல இருக்கா நம்பர் 3 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, n ல இருக்கா நம்பர் 4 கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. அப்ப இதுல என்ன புரியல, எனக்கு புரிய மாட்டேங்குது. Okay, then total energy is given by those two numbers n plus l. இப்போ புரியல இல்ல விஜய், நீ வீட்ல படிக்கிறது இல்ல, நீ சும்மா கிளாஸுக்கு மட்டும் வந்துட்டு இருக்க. கிளாஸுக்கு வந்தா பத்தாது, எல்லாருக்கும் சொல்றேன். கிளாஸுக்கு வந்தா பத்தாது, படிக்கணும், வீட்ல உட்காந்து படிக்கணும். நீங்க தான் கடைசியில பரீட்சை நீங்க தான் போய் எழுதணும். வாத்தியார் போய் எழுத மாட்டாரு. சரி வாங்க. Total energy of an electron is given by the n plus l rule. Okay, n நான் சொல்லணும், l நான் சொல்லணும், n l நான் சொல்றதுக்கு அப்புறம் நீங்க +1 பிளஸ் பண்ணிட்டு நீங்க சொல்லலாம். Electron is in the third shell in p subshell. எனர்ஜி எவ்வளோ கேட்டா இதுக்கு பிரின்சிபல் குவாண்டம் நம்பர், இதுக்கு l வேல்யூ இஸ் 1, 3 + 1 4. இதுதான் நீங்க சொல்லணும். ஓகே, இதெல்லாம் நான் கிளியரா நான் உங்ககிட்ட சொல்லணும். நான் உங்ககிட்ட சொன்னா நீங்க இதுக்கு 4 வேல்யூ சொல்வீங்க. ஏன்னா p சப்ஷெல்லோட l வேல்யூ 1, third ஷெல்னா n வேல்யூ 3. so 3 + 1, n plus l rule. n plus l rule gives you the value of the energy of an electron. Okay, so இது principal quantum number. பிரின்சிபல் குவாண்டம் நம்பருக்கு அப்புறம் அசிமுத்தல் குவாண்டம் நம்பர். மூணாவது குவாண்டம் நம்பர், மூணாவது குவாண்டம் நம்பர் மேக்னெட்டிக் குவாண்டம் நம்பர். ஓகே, அசிமுத்தல் குவாண்டம் நம்பருக்கு அப்புறம் மேக்னெட்டிக் குவாண்டம் நம்பர். இதுல புரியறதுக்கு ஒரு விஷயம் கிடையாது, அது பேர் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க மேக்னெட்டிக் குவாண்டம் நம்பர். ஓகே, now we'll write down magnetic quantum number is represented by m. Indicates the orientation of the subshell. Okay, it indicates the orientation of the subshell. So for this also they have given values. Now it takes values from -l through 0 to +l. It takes values from -l to 0 to +l. Okay, so l is equal to 0. நான் m வேல்யூ என்ன இருக்கும் எழுதுறேங்க, இங்க கொடுத்திருக்கேன், அது அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணி எழுதுறேங்க. l is equal to 1, நான் m வேல்யூ எவ்வளோ எழுதுறேங்க. l is equal to 2, m வேல்யூ எவ்வளோ எழுதுறேங்க. l is equal to 3, m வேல்யூ எவ்வளோ எழுதுறேங்க. உங்களுக்கு இஷ்டம் இருந்தா 4 5 6 நீங்க எழுதலாம், நமக்கு தேவையில்லை, சொல்லிடுறேன். S, P, D and F. ஓகே, இது நீங்க எழுதணும், இங்க சொல்லியிருக்கேன், நீட்டா சொல்லியிருக்கேன், அது எழுதுங்க. அதுக்கு வேல்யூ m வேல்யூ என்னென்ன வரும் எழுதுங்க. It takes values from -l through 0 to +l. Yes, want to see a few more answers. Orientation na orientation pa, orientation na என்ன சொல்ல முடியும் சஞ்சய்? Orientation na check dictionary check. G SPDF kapram G. I have already told you, Harish, there is nothing more that I can say about it. I told you it takes values from minus L to plus L through 0. Now please understand that statement and write. Yeah. L is equal to 0, M is equal to 0. Yes. Then there is no formula. Now you have to understand. You don't seem to be understanding English. Then I am telling you very clearly that look here, it is taking values from minus L to 0 to L. So minus L is 1, means minus L is how much? Minus 1, then 0, then plus 1. Then for M here it will be only 0. Here it will be minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. So it will be only integral values. Integral values it will take from minus L to plus L through 0. Avladha. So inge minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. L is equal to 2 means M is equal to, yes, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. So you don't have to go for that. Yes. So it takes these values. Now I am explaining to you further. Okay. Now each of these indicate a different orientation. That means, suppose I go to the S shell, S subshell. A S subshell has only one compartment, 0. Okay. If I go to P subshell has a shape like this. And it has 3 compartments, minus 1, 0, 1. Okay. So this one is referred to as Px. Another one is referred to as Py. Another one is referred to as Pz. Okay. So one is like this along the x-axis. One is along the y-axis and another one is along the z-axis. That means there are 3 types of P shells. One is along the x-axis, one is along the y-axis, one is along the z-axis. Which one is along what, we don't need. That is not important. So what you need to understand is that in the P shell, there are 3 compartments. One is called the Px, one is called the Py, one is called the Pz. These names are also not important. You just need to know that there are 3 compartments. Then you need to know in the S shell there are no compartments. There's only one. But in the P shell, corresponding to these 3, there are 3 compartments. Now their orientation, how are they oriented? One is along the x-axis, one is along the y-axis, one is along the z-axis. So that is how it is oriented. Orientation means how is it positioned in 3-dimensional space. Yeah, electron north south ella theville. So along x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. Okay. So in the pair ungalku theville, you don't need it, but we'll just write it because it is only 3. We don't mind it. Then S is over one dabba. P is having 3 dabbas, 3 compartments. One is oriented along X, one is oriented along Y, one is oriented along Z. Then SPD, D is having 5 dabbas corresponding to minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. F is going to have 7 dabbas. So 7 different orientations. As you come here, they get complicated. So minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now they are all of the same size. They are all of the same size. Just that they have been given different numbers, -3, -2, -1, giving different orientations. Here we are able to remember the orientations. Here I can remember the orientations because I have done little practice, but you don't need it. So you don't remember the orientation. So you have dxy, you have dyz, then you have dx squared, you have dy squared, then you have dx squared minus y squared. Okay, so like this, but you don't need it. You don't need this. You don't need this at all. Just understand that in the D, there are 5 different orientations. Okay. Yes, in the D, there will be 5 compartments. No mole concept, only oxidation number. Okay, so I am saying that in each, depending on the number of numbers that we have for magnetic quantum number, yeah, subdivision of subshells. Yes, G will have 9 boxes, correct. Yes. Yes. So S, P, D, F. I hope you understand the meaning of the word orientation. Yeah. Now, if you understand this, this is the azimuthal quantum number. Okay. Then, sorry, this is the magnetic quantum number. Magnetic quantum number is written as M. So, if I have N, I can have 1. Then L value is 0. M value is 0. If I have 2, L value is 1. I mean 0 and 1. M value is only 0 here. Here it is -1, 0, 1. If I have 3 here, it is 0, 1, 2. So here I have 0. Here I have -1, 0, 1. Here I have -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. Then write for 4, and then I will move on. So this is the N value, this is the M value, L value, and this is the M value. L for azimuthal quantum number, AZI, azimuthal, AZIMUTAL, azimuthal quantum number. M for magnetic quantum number, magnetic quantum number. N for principal quantum number. Okay, so no mole concept. So yeah, we don't need G onwards. There aren't so many elements. So P orbital is having elements in P block elements, and G orbital having elements are called G block elements. But we don't have G block elements. We have only S, P, D. So we have S block elements, we have P block elements, we have D block elements. Okay, so we have, yeah. Okay, so if this is understood, then please complete it. For 4 also, you please write down. So here there is 1 orbital. Here there are 4 orbitals. Each of those compartments is called an orbital. Here you have 9 orbitals. In 4, you will have 16 orbitals. Here 1 square, 1 orbital, 2 squared, 4 orbitals, 3 squared, 9 orbitals, 4 squared, 16 orbitals. Yeah, n square. Last year, we didn't study about the middle group of elements in the periodic table. We will study about them this year. Yeah, definitely. It goes on odd number series, right? Yes, obviously, because there is a 0 in between. So minus L to plus L through 0. So even number plus 0, odd number. Okay, can I move on? Yes, Vijay. Why that not what? Why that group not last? I didn't understand. Last year we didn't study about the middle group. Yes, you didn't study about the middle group because more knowledge was required. Now we are getting all that knowledge, so we are studying. Okay, so yeah, so if you can get this, then I hope you are able to work on that also, the next this thing also, and then we move on. Now the fourth quantum number. The fourth quantum number. The fourth quantum number is the spin quantum number. Okay, represented as S. Then every electron is associated with a spin. It will either plus half or minus half. That means it can either be spinning anti-clockwise or clockwise. So accordingly, every electron is associated with a spin quantum number. That spin quantum number takes only two values, plus half and minus half. The spin quantum number can take only two values, plus half and minus half. Plus half is usually represented this way, minus half is usually represented this way. Plus half is usually represented this way, minus half is usually represented this way. So this is the positive anti-clockwise spin, this is the clockwise spin. Yeah. So every electron is spinning about its axis. That spinning may be clockwise or anti-clockwise. If it is clockwise, it is represented this way. If it is anti-clockwise, it is represented this way. Okay. So you have clockwise spins and you have anti-clockwise spins. Plus half is anti-clockwise, minus is clockwise. Remember, everywhere in 11th and 12th, plus will be positive. Sorry, plus will be anti-clockwise, minus will be clockwise. We don't need that. Who discovered and all that, not required. A lot of people were involved. There are more than 50 scientists who have worked for all this. Schrödinger did maximum work for this. Okay, there's a German scientist by the name Schrödinger. He has done a lot of work for the quantum theoretical model. Okay, so now putting all of them together, as per the quantum theory, they have the principal quantum number, they have the azimuthal quantum number, they have the magnetic quantum number, and they have the spin quantum number. So if n is equal to 1, L is 0, M is 0, there can be plus half, there can be minus half. If n is equal to 2, L is 0, 0, so plus half, minus half. 2, this will be 1, this will be plus 1, 0, minus 1. So here it will be plus half, minus half. Here it will be plus half, minus half. Here it will be plus half, minus half. That means if in the first shell, hydrogen, this first shell is called the s orbital. So you have one s. 1 stands for the principal quantum number. S for the orbit in which it is. In the first shell, you have only the s orbital. So there's only one compartment. So s orbital, no problem. In that, there is one electron. Okay, again, it is a convention that the first electron is considered to be anti-clockwise. Okay, then you have helium. Helium has 2 electrons. So you have 1 and 1. In any orbital, we cannot have more than 2 electrons, and each of the electrons should have opposite spins. Okay, please write this down. In any orbital, we cannot have more than 2 electrons. Okay, and each of these electrons should have opposite spins. Convention here is half arrow upwards, positive. First one is positive. Here, this is anti-clockwise. Here, anti-clockwise. This is clockwise. Yeah, upward is anti-clockwise. So if 2 electrons spin in opposite direction in the same orbital, won't they collide? No. Spinning is about its axis, not rotation. Spinning is like the earth is spinning about its axis. So the spinning is about its axis. Okay, spinning is not about the nucleus. Okay, so if this is the case, then in the P subshell, you have 3 compartments. So there can be 6 electrons. 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. In the D subshell, you have 5. So you have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. In the F, you have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. Okay. So in the S subshell, you have maximum 2 electrons. Then in the P subshell, you have maximum 6 electrons. In the D subshell, you have maximum 10 electrons. Then in the F subshell, you have maximum 14 electrons. Okay, now do you understand this? In all subshells per compartment, there will be no maximum. I am using the word maximum. Please show the previous slide 1 second. Who's disturbing you? Plus 1 divided by each electron has 1 spin. Yes, 2 opposite spins. Is there any definition for orbital? No. In all subshells per compartment, there will be definitely no maximum of 2 electrons. There may be 1. In hydrogen, there are no teaching once again business. Tell me what you don't understand, I will explain. Very clear, it's all very clear. We have to exercise our mind. Here, this slide, I have told you about compartments. So first write again, how many compartments are there in each? Then I have told you about the fourth quantum number, the spin quantum number, telling that there are two spin quantum numbers possible. One is plus and one is minus. So upward is anti-clockwise, downward is clockwise. Now I am showing you that, look, this is the s orbital. In the s orbital, there can be 2 electrons. Here in any orbital, we cannot have more than 2 electrons. And each electron should have opposite spins. That means we cannot have this. Not possible. We cannot have this. Not possible. We can only have this. Opposite spins. Then I have drawn the different compartments which I have drawn so many times before, and then I am explaining again. Then I am telling you this is not possible. Then I have written down how many orbitals are there in each, how many compartments are there in each. This I have told you now, spin quantum number. I told you to complete this. Now I am showing you diagram. Here I have written it in numbers, saying that 2s. This is 2p. In p there are 3 compartments. Each compartment there are 2. Oh, S, I mean this is P only. So there are 2, P only, there are 2. Now please write 3, S, then 3, P, then 3, D. Then please write these and please fill up those things first. Then I have shown you the same thing by drawing diagram. How in each compartment there can be maximum of 2 electrons. Okay. Please show the previous slide. Okay. In all subshells, definitely 2 electrons, I have answered. Sir, this means, sir, in all subshells per compartment, there will be maximum 2 electrons. Yes. Sir, nowadays we cannot get, they are doing it, they are little behind. We are doing too many classes and 2 people are behind downloading it and working, so they are trying. This means that lithium, we need to write 2 half and 1 plus. Yes. Yes. Why in the second shell there are 2 L values? I didn't understand. 2 L values, yeah, I told you, explained to you that in the very first case, no? If n is equal to 1, L value will be 0. If n is equal to 2, L will take values from 0 and this. N is equal to 3, it is 0, 1 and 2. So this is what I explained to you first when we were writing L value. You forgot Now further I am saying when you have m values will take from minus L to plus L through 0. So here there will be only one value 0. Here also only one value. Here minus 1, 0 and 1. Here only 1. Here minus 1, 0 and 1. Here minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. Then I am now telling about S. So you will have plus half, you will have minus half. You will have plus half, you will have minus half. Here in each one of them, you will have plus half, minus half, plus half, minus half. So here in each one of them, you will have plus half, minus half. So like that, I am trying to tell. So the maximum number of electrons that can come in one will be 2. The maximum number of electrons that can come in the second shell, 2 here, 6 here. So 8. In the third shell, 2 here, 6 here, 10 here. So 18. So now please see how all this is what Bohr said. Bohr did not know all this, but he was still able to say. That is why we have to respect Bohr. Sir, can you clear my doubt once again? There was a network problem. What is your doubt, Harshini? If you tell me your doubt, I can clear. Each electron has one spin or two opposite spins. No, one spin. Each electron can have only one spin. Or it can only spin clockwise or anti-clockwise. How can the same object spin both ways? It can't, right? So, no, I'm not going to show all the slides now. I sent it. Now there are 100 before, after that. I don't know where I will search for it. Harshini. Yeah, one is positive and one is negative. Then in the p shell in one orbital, there must be one electron, and in 3, the electron should also be 3. No, you all are not understanding. First, do you guys understand that this is the F shell, this is the P shell, this is the D shell, and this is the F shell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, first understand this. This is the P shell. Sorry, S shell. This is the P shell. This is the D shell. This is the F shell. First understand this. So this is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Minus 1, 0, 1. Only 0. Then understand that in the K shell you will have only S. In the L shell you will have S and P. In the M shell you will have S and P and D. In the N shell you will have S and P and D and F. In every other shell henceforth you will have S and P and D and F. So you will have all the shells will be there. Now in each of this there can be 2 electrons with opposite spins. Each of these there can be 2 electrons with opposite spins. So there can be totally 6 here. There can be totally 6 here. There can be 2 here. There can be 10 here. There can be 18 here. 14 here. Okay. Then in the K shell only 1 is there. In that 2 electrons can come. So 2. Here S and P. So 2 plus 6, 8. Here SPD. So 2 plus 6 plus 10, 18. Here SPDF. So the 2, 8, 18. Then again next is 32. And then it keeps going. Have I cleared? Yeah, sir. So Harini, have I cleared your doubt? Yes, my dear friend, we have learnt all these things. The only problem is we have to work on it. We are forgetting it. Okay, spin number is denoted by plus half, minus half. Either everywhere we are giving numbers, and then there, in this case there is a symbol also. Up and down, both you can write. Yeah, each electron has one spin or 2 opposite spins in same direction. I told you, each electron has only one spin. In n is equal to 2. N is equal to 2, it has 2 subshells. Yes, S and P. Okay. So now if you understand this, then I will start giving you some rules, or let us try to fill up electrons and then see. So you have hydrogen, atomic number 1. Then you have helium, then you have lithium, then you have beryllium, then you have boron, then you have carbon, then you have nitrogen, then you have oxygen. Okay, so there are some rules for filling up. So as we keep filling, we will ask questions and then we will see. So here you have only the first shell. So in the first shell, you will have only S, only one electron. So one electron will be happily living there. There is no problem. Yeah, here what will happen? Here you will have two electrons. So one S will happen both. So this I will call it the first shell. N is equal to 1s. So 1s. So the electronic configuration for hydrogen is 1s1. The electronic configuration for helium is 1s2. Okay. Now for lithium, there are 3 electrons, but in the 1s only this much can come. Next it will go to 2s. So 2s. Now in 2s is also there, p is also there. Now will it go to s or will it go to p? In p there are 3 compartments. So will it go to s or will it go to p? Okay. So here we have some rules. So we will start writing down the first rule. Whenever electrons fill up orbitals, they fill those with lower energy first. Whenever electrons fill up orbitals, they fill those with lower energy first. And how do you determine the energy? Energy is determined by the L plus N rule or the N plus L rule. In case of a tie, low n is assumed to have low energy. Please write down first. Don't first start with I don't understand. First you write down. Whenever electrons fill up orbitals, they fill those with lower energy first, or they fill them in increasing order of energy. So the lower energy ones are filled first and the higher energy ones are filled later. Now how do you determine the energy? The energy is determined by N plus L rule. So what if there is a tie? If there is a tie, the one with lower N is assumed to be having lower energy. Okay. It is not power 2, it is written that way. Sir, Heisenberg uncertainty principle says the position of an electron cannot be determined. Then how we tell them their quantum number? So you said quantum number is their address. Yes, I told quantum number is their address. Now we will come to that later on. Yeah, I will show you the current slide. Here, whenever electrons fill up orbitals, they fill there with those with lower energy first. And how do you find the energy? Energy is found by the N plus L rule. In case of a tie, low N is assumed to have lower energy. Okay. So going back to our slide, if I have to go back to our slide, then the electron can come to 2s or it can go to 2p. But here the L value is 0. Here the L value is 1. So when I use N plus N value, this will have lower energy. So the electron comes here, electron doesn't go here. Okay. Now in beryllium also, so the lithium configuration is 1s2, 2s1. This is not power. S to the power 2 doesn't mean anything. So it is 1s2, 2s1. 1s2 saying that in the first shell s orbital, there are 2 electrons. Second s orbital, there is 1 electron. For beryllium, it will go this way. So it is 1s2, 2s2. Boron. Now there are 3. So it can come here, here, here. All have same energy. So now because when we write it such that it comes here. And always anti-clockwise first, we don't give clockwise. We don't give clockwise first. Next, we go to carbon. We go to carbon. Carbon, it can go like this. Okay, before that, let me see. There will definitely be some message. Sir, in lithium, it is 1s2. Why will it be 2p1? I'm just now telling you, lower energy will go first. N plus L rule for S is L is 0. So 2 plus 0. For P, it is 2 plus 1. So it will not go to P, it will go to S. Okay, so it is 1s2, 2s1. Yeah, this means that for L shell, it will have 8 spaces. Yes. So it must have S2, then P6. Yes. Sir, S stands for subshell. Yes. Sir, electrons are filled out from outer orbits. From outer orbital, sir. Who told you all that? I have never said about outer orbital or anything. They are only filling from inner orbital. Lower energy first. So I don't know that theory, Harish. Why 2s? I explained to you 2s. What is 1 in front of s? 1 electron. Two electron can go to the s orbital of the second shell or the p orbital of the second shell. S orbital has L value 0, N value 2. 2 plus 0 is 2. While p orbital will have 2 plus 1, 3. So this is having lesser energy. So electron will go to lesser energy first. So the electrons come here first. Okay. So after filling that, then it goes to then it will fill this up. After filling this up, then it goes here. Now here it can go to any one of them, but by convention is to write it first and convention is to use anti-clockwise. Yeah, 1s2, 2s2, 1 there is no p, 1 there is no p. P is there only in s, in 2, sorry, p is there only in 2. So in 1 there is no p, 1 there is only s. So it has to be 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Yes, it is Aufbau's principle. Okay, then if that is understood, then let's go to the next one. So the next one is carbon. So the next one is carbon. So carbon has 6 electrons. So carbon 1s2, 1s2, then 2s2, 2s2. Then in P there are 3 boxes. It comes here. This is boron. Now the next electron can come here or it can go here. So now here there is a rule which says this is what is known as Hund's rule. So according to this rule, pairing of electrons in a subshell starts only if each orbital has 1 electron each. So carbon, 2 electrons can come here, or 1 can come here, the other one can go there. So now there is a rule for this. The rule is pairing of electrons in a subshell starts only if each orbital has 1 electron each. So now pairing won't happen. So carbon will be like this. Okay, then nitrogen will be like this. Okay, now each orbital has 1. So when you go to oxygen, now pairing will start. So in case of oxygen, it will become like this. Now once pairing starts, both positive negative will be there. So this is oxygen. Okay, so first rule, electrons fill in terms of increasing amounts of energy. That is, the lower energy lower energy orbitals are filled first. Then pairing of electrons starts only after each orbital has one electron. So yeah. Sir, in hydrogen, we use the symbol for anti-clockwise plus. So that means that the electron in hydrogen always rotate in the, it doesn't mean, it is an assumption. Sir, in nitrogen, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Yes. Can't understand second rule. Second rule is pairing. Pairing of electrons means in the p, suppose there are only 2 electrons in p, there are 3 compartments. So will both the electrons go to one compartment or will they go to different compartments? So according to Ohm's rule, it says that both the electrons will go to different compartments. Electrons will go to the same compartment only if there are no empty compartments. Okay. So for any one element, can you fill the boxes by mentioning the values of N, L, M, and S? Why not? So this is the last one I will do, and then I will stop for the day today. Oxygen. Oxygen, okay, has 8 electrons. Okay, so let us see. Oxygen has 8 electrons. So I am writing N is equal to 1. N is equal to 1 means it has only S. 1 here means it has only S. L value is 0. Here L value is 1, 2, and 3. 2 means it has having S and P. Yeah. So the first electron, N plus L rule. 1 plus 0 is 1. So the first electron will come here. The second electron will also come here. Empty space is there. So 1s2. Now the third electron next to lower energy. Once this is over, now first shell is full. Now it will go to 2s. So it will come 1 electron, 2 electron. Then it will go to p. In p there are 3 subshells, right? So 2 plus 1, 3. So this is having more energy. So now 4 electrons are over. So 5 electron, 5th electron will come here. Now 6th electron has the possibility of coming here. The 6th electron has a possibility of coming here, but it won't come here. Why? Because pairing has to happen only after each, there is no empty orbital. So now here these 2 are empty. So that next electron will come here. Then one more electron is there. So here 1s2, 2s2. So here we have 1. So I have to put it in correct color. So let me just remove the red. Let me just remove the red. Yeah. So now the next electron is going to come here. Now the next electron is going to come here. Now this is what? This is 2s. This is 2p. 2p has energy 3. Now 3s has energy 3. This is 3s. This also has energy 3. But here the principal quantum number is lesser. Because principal quantum number is lesser, we will assume this to have lesser energy. Okay. So now totally how many electrons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it has 8 electrons. So the next one, pairing will start. Here it's an assumption that we have to put positive for all. Now pairing will start. Now pairing will start means the next one. So this is how oxygen fills up. Okay. Now after oxygen, the next element. What is the next element? After oxygen will be sulfur, not a sulfur, chlorine, sorry, fluorine. So fluorine will be like this. Then neon will be like this. Now neon, everything is filled. Now you go to the next one, sodium, 3s1. Then after sodium, magnesium. Then aluminium, 3s is over. Now 3p will start filling. So that's how the filling takes place. Okay, there's another way I can show this. n is equal to, okay, you can, you will ask me to, friends, I won't show this. You please look at the, okay, my time is over. So let's stop for today. Tomorrow we will continue. Yeah. Sir, is there any idea of time reduction as per central government guidance? No, I have no idea of time reduction. Central government says that you give 10 minutes break. I'm giving you 4 hours break in between. So I have no reduction. Sir, up to the aim of central government is universal literacy. Central government doesn't care whether you get into IIT, whether you get into NIT, whether you go to medical college, or whether you go to no college. So central government's aim is only to make sure that there is 100% literacy. So with 100% literacy aim, we can do. But if we want to clear entrance exams, we have to work. Yeah, we have to learn. We have to learn for all elements. We have to learn, Sanjay. Is there any idea of time reduction? So Ajitesh, I answered, there is no idea. How will we use for D block? Sir, what you are teaching is in NCERT, 100% it is in NCERT. Okay, yeah, so fine, bye. Is there any, what will we use D and F afterwards? Yes, in your 12th standard, you will use D and F. If any element with 4 shell is taken, then we also have 3S, exactly. Okay, good. So we will continue from here again tomorrow. I am teaching you deleted portion also. The circular itself says that the deleted portion is that it won't come in exam. That's all. So I won't give that in exam. Yeah. Yes, if you read NCERT, more than enough. See you tomorrow. Bye.